I started planning this last episode of this Amberlynn Reid documentary style series about a week ago, and I had the script written. But after her last update and that of the last first and only videos of 2020, I decided to rip up my script. If I could, it's on Word, so I just digitally deleted it because I feel what I was going to say isn't what should be said. I could sit here as I record this and cite everything Amberlynn Reid has ever done wrong. I've done some in the previous ones, but I'm not sure whether that's where I need to go in this last part. I don't like Amberlynn Reid. I think I've made myself very clear. As a human being, she has no personality. She thinks she does. What she has, she borrows from YouTubers she likes. The small one she has of her own is a very nasty human being. She's very smug, self-righteous, arrogant. She likes to gaslight her audience. I imagine she does it to the people around her too. She is not a very nice human being. But with that being said, I don't want her to die. Let me explain why I changed everything and why this is what I'm putting out. Her first vlog of 2020 was her list of resolutions for 2020. She wants to lose weight. She wants to save even more money because, in her words, she was so impressed with what she saved last year. She's thinking about college. She's gonna cut her hair, dye her hair. Amber, cutting your hair isn't a resolution. No one's dyeing it. That's just something that people do every single day. A resolution is something that will change your life for the better. Cutting your hair is not a resolution. Thinking about college is not a resolution. Attending college would have been a resolution, but thinking about it, it's not. Sorry, Amber, it's not. And this is just her sitting down in what looks like her kitchen or on her dining room table. And that's it, her sitting down. And in the next video, we have her 100 and something reasons. I'm sorry, I blacked out for most of this video because it reminds me so much of those two videos she did a couple of years ago. The reasons why it's bad to be obese. It's just the most inane, materialistic, stupid reasons to lose weight. There should be one reason and one reason alone to lose weight, Amber. That's to live. We all have plans to go to sun-kissed lands and goodness knows what else. But when your weight is in your way, that's something you need to get rid of first, Amber. And then the third video, 5 days ago, popular questions I'm finally answering, in which people answered her Instagram stories with questions for her. These are the ones that, they've always wanted to know, and she's finally answering them. Only we've heard these questions a million times before, and the whole video is Amber just endlessly explaining why she's still friends with Destiny and why it's okay for exes to be friends. Amber, nobody gives a shit about you and Destiny. You do more than anybody else because you are constantly talking about it, and you find more and more reasons to talk about it. You are the only one still hung up on this, and that is why everybody says about it, because you are still very much hung up with your ex. I'm sorry, but this is a fact. In this video, she also tells us she rarely gets sick. I don't even know where to start with this statement because it seemed like every single vlog of 2019 she come in with some kind of ailment. Nausea, headache, sickness. Oh, the belly button infection. She was in the ER, 3 separate occasions? Amber, you are sick every single vlog. Every single vlog. Now, either you are lying or you are genuinely sick every single vlog, and this is not normal. And then comes the video from 16 hours ago now, as I record this. She uploaded it at like 2:30 UK time. Like, as I said in the past, I don't watch her videos from her channel. I will not be endorsing her lifestyle. I will not be funding her death. That sounds dramatic, but that's just the way I feel. I'm sorry. I'm not giving her AdSense coins or adding to them. And in this video, she tells us that she went to the doctor, and the doctor gave her antibiotics, and he told her not to take them because that makes sense, apparently. And in this video, we see her hair is, oh wow, it's greasy as hell. It's dirty. I don't know when the last time she washed it was. And it was after this that I realized I needed to change this video. So here I am, changing the whole context of this video. It isn't even scripted. I have no script for this one. I'm just winging it because I don't think anything needs to be scripted. In part 2 of this series, I said I thought Amberlynn Reid was lazy. She is. She's lazy. But I also think she's afraid. She's scared to change. As I said, she's got herself to a place where she finds it difficult to get out. But also I think she doesn't try because she's afraid. She's insanely afraid of moving away from this comfort zone. I understand this. I understand what it's like to stay in a safe place because you feel safe and comfortable. But that safe place also is what brings you down. That safe place is what festers all your fears because you never venture outside of it. So you sit in this safe place and you have all these wonderful ideas of things you'd love to do and places you'd love to go and visit. And you just want to be normal, just like everybody else, okay? But at the same time, there's this other thought that terrifies you about doing all those things. Because Amberlynn Reid right now is in a place where she's pampered and fawned over. She's the center of attention. The moment she steps away and tries and, hey, succeeds, this ends. She enjoys this place because, in a way, almost like a regression back to childhood, they spend afternoons coloring and playing childish games. For adults, I mean, sure, adults do this every now and again, but most of us have responsibilities to do. Most of us have to work, and our activities are somewhat adult. I mean, I don't know. She made a really big deal about having a few drinks, because someone her size shouldn't be drinking, but someone your size shouldn't be eating so much. A little bit of drink is not going to harm you, and this is my point. These 4 videos reinforced my thoughts on Amberlynn Reid, and that every January we see the same thing, we see the same resolutions, the same hopes, the same dreams, the same big talk, but talk is just talk. We all can do it. If you don't have the conviction to follow through with action, you will never get anywhere. She can write in as many journals as she wants. She can buy as many as she wants from Amazon. I don't give a shit. The trees being cut down to make these journals might, but I'm sure Amber has her reasons for this. After all, she is environmentally sound, remember? But Amberlynn Reid will never follow through because she is afraid. That is what I think. And as I said, I understand what it's like to be afraid. And you think, and the more you overthink it, the more scary success becomes. I've seen it said so many times by drama channels, even the ones she claims to hate her. If she succeeded, she would be one of the biggest YouTube success stories. So it makes no sense because this is all she has. Her weight is all she is. She tells us that she's more than her weight, but she's not. When we think of Amberlynn Reid, we think of all her many failings. We think of how awful she is, and we think of how big she is. That's Amberlynn Reid. And this is sad for me. I want to take a look at this last video because for me, it's so predictable. I feel like she knows what everybody tells her. She knows because she lives in her body, she feels it, she exists in it. I feel like she knows. But when she turns on the camera, that camera acts as a sort of magic mirror. She becomes the evil queen in Sleeping Beauty. And she's essentially, instead of asking the mirror who's the most fairest of them all, Amberlynn Reid instead projects what she wants to be true, what she wants to exist. It's the same when she takes selfies and things. They're always heavily filtered. You never see the true person. And for me, this is insanely true. The camera is her magic mirror, and she is portraying this perfect life she exists in. She's wealthy, she's richer than us, and she tells us. She doesn't seem to understand that having class and sophistication means you don't talk about how much money you have. You don't flex it. Amber, did you give those things to the homeless charity like you said? That's another thing. You have to flex what you're doing. Oh, I'm giving to a charity. But why do you need to do that on a vlog and promote it? Don't you do that all the time? Or do you only do it for the ass pats? And this is what I mean. Everything is a show. Everything she gives us is fake. It's her magic mirror. And when she's doing these things, she can be beautiful. Inside and out. For me, beauty is down to the individual. For me, Amberlynn Reid is ugly on the inside, and that reflects on the outside, my opinion. But this newest vlog, I want to take a look at it because we need to.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to film an update video. I could barely breathe. I am still sick. I do have tonsillitis. I told you guys I did go to the doctor, and they said that tonsillitis goes away by itself, but the whole situation was kind of weird. Like, the doctor prescribed me antibiotics but said I didn't have to take them, and then I told the doctor about how I took antibiotics for 2 months straight due to a bladder infection, and she was very hesitant on having me take the antibiotics because she said antibiotics don't always help people anyways with tonsillitis. So she said, preferably I will call in the prescription, but I don't really want you to take it. And I'm over here like, okay.
In my original script, I wanted to address Amberlynn's attitude or stories that she comes back to us when she's visited medical professionals. I find that all the stories seem to go like this. Either the medical professionals in Kentucky are grossly incompetent, or Amberlynn is a big fat liar. Which is the more probable of the two? This is Amberlynn's attitude throughout her whole YouTube career and her whole journey with weight loss, and how she interacts or how she tells us about the people who she seeks help from. She treats them very disrespectfully. It's almost like she's quite condescending when she's talking about them to us. This end bit is just indicative of Amberlynn Reid. She's like, okay. Like, it's tonsillitis, Amber. Children have this. Literally, children have this. And they make less fuss. Another thing I'm intrigued about by this is Amberlynn Reid got this new doctor before December. Am I correct in this? I think I'm correct, because her right at the beginning of Vlogmas or just before Vlogmas, but at this point she still had the bladder infection and she was taking the antibiotics. But in this part of the video, she says she had to tell the doctor she'd been taking antibiotics for 2 months. Why doesn't her doctor know that already? That doesn't make sense to me. And then the doctor says, I'm gonna prescribe it for you, but don't take it if you don't want to. What? My only reaction is an Amberlynn reaction. Because she sounds very much like somebody who isn't telling you the whole story, so she needs to pick little bits from the actual event to tell you, because the whole story is not something she wants to reveal, so she gives little bits, only it doesn't make any sense when it comes out, and she realizes that it doesn't make any sense. She's telling you it doesn't make any sense. She's making her stupid faces and her stupid noises and her emphasizing the fact that none of this makes sense. She does this all of the time. Remember the weight loss doctor last year? She was so excited for this weight loss doctor. She did a whole shopping haul of new things and she was so excited. She did it for like a couple of hours and then she'd come back on the next day and give us a whole ass reason why she changed her mind. She wasn't going to do it anymore. And suddenly the weight loss doctor wasn't as great as she said the day before. The reality is that people have done that diet and lost weight by it. But of course, Amberlynn Reid knows what is best for Amberlynn Reid. One would assume at this point that after 7 years and only weight gains, drastic weight gains, she'd realize that no, if there is one person that doesn't know what is right for Amberlynn Reid, that person is Amberlynn Reid.
Horrible cough. My throat is just like, my tonsils are not happy. I have a bunch of white spots on them, all this stuff. I do not have strep. They did a test on that. So tonsillitis, hi. It's just, it's been putting me through the ringer. I have been doing nothing but resting. I have been beyond bored. It's just been, it hasn't been fun for me. I hate that 2020 has started like this because I really wanted like to start 2020 kind of with a bang and with health and happiness and positivity, and I'm just not getting that. But I'm just trying to be as positive as possible and kind of just go with the flow at this point. I am getting a little desperate though, and I might just take the antibiotics, but since I was taking antibiotics for so long, I'm building a resistance. They have completely messed up my stomach, and I've been off antibiotics for a few weeks now, so my stomach is finally like getting back to normal because the antibiotics were bad. It took all the good bacteria out of my stomach, and my stomach was always cramping, hurting. So I have tried to film other videos. I have started a what I ate today. I have started a vlog twice, and I have started another update video a few days ago, and it's just like, I end up deleting it because I don't know what to say.
Okay, for a start, resting is all Amberlynn Reid ever does. That's all she does. Resting. She should be pretty fit considering all she does is rest. And I would say that she's sick all the time because resting is all she does. She never goes out and interacts in the world, so she doesn't really build up an immunity to germs of any kind. I mean, if you place yourself in just like one little sterile little bubble, and I'm not saying that home is like, a sterile place, it doesn't really look like it, but it's true. It's true that everything she gets is probably brought in by those who are going out into the world, and she doesn't interact around other people, so she doesn't really have an immunity about that. And tonsillitis, I can't believe she's making such a big deal about something that children have, and children, grumble less. I just can't. This is her routine, and she cries and cries and cries about she wanted 2020 to be new and positive, but this is the same thing every single damn year. Only this time the cycle seems to be way shorter. She wanted 2020 to start with a bang, but this is the whole point. The only time Amberlynn Reid will make a bang is if she falls over on her ass. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but this is the fact. She will never lose weight. And she's lazy, and I've made my point that she's afraid to even try. She starts out with the initial excitement of the idea of it, but then she realizes it's hard work. So she hides behind that hard work. We all have to do things that are hard work. Nothing in life worth having is ever given to us simply. Amberlynn Reid acts as though she is the only person in the world who is downtrodden and sad, and the only person who's affected by anything. When she broke up with Destiny, she acted as though she was the only person in the world who had ever been heartbroken and dumped. Newsflash for you, Amber. This happens to every single one of us, and it hurts like fuck. But you just have to go on. You don't set up a camera and pretend to be drunk. I'm sorry, she's the kind, she had like one glass of wine. That was not drunk, Amber. And with how big she is, I don't think she's gonna be so easily succumb to drunkenness. But this is, I just cannot. I try to be serious with this documentary. I know I've been sarcastic and I've put in some jokes and stuff along the way, but it's really hard to have any kind of patience with this woman. She is a 29-year-old toddler at this point, but she likes that. This is what she likes. Because to become healthier, to become better, means work. And to become healthier would mean she would stop being center of everyone's attention. The people around her would feel less beholden to her. They are her caretakers now. I've said they are her enablers utterly. I think that they don't give a crap about this woman. And by the way she treats people and the way she treats them, can we really blame them for not caring about her at all? They have to sit down and listen to this woman whinging at a camera every single time. I'm sick, I'm sick. Everybody in this house is sick. It's very strange how so many people under one roof are sick all of the time. I find this very strange. Another thing that I'm wondering is that all through Vlogmas, she was clickbaiting us with this infection, the bladder infection, and the antibiotics, and the doctor's trips, and all kinds of crap. But as soon as Vlogmas ended, it seems her bladder infection cleared up really quickly. I don't know. I just find it very strange how as soon as she turned the camera off, Christmas wasn't that long ago, if you think about it. She says she stopped taking them a couple of weeks ago, so I assume that means her infection is gone. I think this woman likes being sick. I think this woman likes to sit up and grumble and groan. I think this is what gives her purpose, I think. I think she claims to have a personality, but I don't see one. I see someone who comes on Instagram and passes off a whole lot of sarcastic crap and throwing shade at one reaction channel or another one. But when it comes to actually having conviction and determination, she doesn't really have it. In her last Instagram live, I put it in the last, or I put bits of it in the last part of this series. There was many people asking her what was her reaction to the Charlie Gold challenge, and Amberlynn Reid just told us Charlie Gold was an attractive woman, in less sophisticated way, of course. But that wasn't the question. She deflects. Now, whether you agree with that challenge or not, whether Amberlynn Reid wanted to do it or not, you'd have more respect for the woman if she'd come out and said, I've heard the challenge, I've thought about it, and I just don't think it's for me. Instead of just hiding and just pretending it isn't happening, she is a child who will hide under her covers and just shake her head pretending that it's not happening. It proves my point that she has set her place to be a child. I don't think she had this chance to be kind of mollycoddled and mothered and just, I don't know, as a child. And now she seems to be embracing that somewhat. She's very happy to stay in a situation that she doesn't seem very happy with, to be honest.
So I kind of wanted to talk about the future of my channel. I was going into 2020 where I wanted to have like an upload schedule and all this stuff, and it's like I don't want to promise you guys anything because like it's just I've promised you guys stuff in the past and I never follow through with it. I think that's a big part of why people get like aggravated and annoyed with me, is because I don't follow through with what I'm going to say. So instead of like promising you guys anything, I'm going to like talk about some intentions that I want to do for my channel. Mainly just like put some stuff out there and see what you guys think, because I know you guys will message me on Instagram. Once 2020 hit, I was like, no, I don't want to, you know, promise things I can't do. And now that 2020 is here, I kind of feel like the sickness has like took away all my energy, obviously. But I almost wonder if like, even if I wasn't sick, if I literally just, I like literally don't know what to film anymore. It's like there comes a time where you just don't know what to film anymore. Like, I've actually talked to a few other of my YouTube friends, and one in particular is just like, I don't know what to film anymore either. And it's just like, it gets hard, especially when you upload, you know, consistently, which I have not been doing lately. Plus, I've been on YouTube for over 6 years now, and it's like, I feel like I've talked about everything that I could possibly talk about that's within, you know, the appropriate standards of my channel, if you will. But anyways, so as you guys know, since it's January, all of the weight loss channels are coming out of hiding, and people are starting to, you know, set resolutions and eat better and lose weight and start a weight loss journey, which I love. I do the same thing, but I love January for that very reason, because a lot of the weight loss channels that I adore watching, like, they're finally coming out of hiding, and it makes me sad because a lot of the time around like March they go back into hiding, and that's very much like my cycle, the cycle that you guys point out to me, and it makes me sad. But I just want to say right here, if you're on a weight loss journey and you started this month in January, or if you have a weight loss channel and you're watching me, please don't give up. You are inspiring people, and you have a lot of silent viewers. I am a silent viewer. I don't thumbs up, I don't thumbs down, I don't comment. I just watch in silence. I know it's easier said than done. Like, don't give up. Like, trust me, I'm the queen of that. And it's not even that you give up. It's just, you kind of just go off a plan, and sometimes you're afraid to admit it or whatever it may be. But I'm inspired because there are a lot of weight loss channels who are doing like Wednesday weigh-ins, and I don't want to like bore people, but I just want to talk more about my journey when I'm ready. And it's something that I'm like really slowly starting to really want to do, because I did start this channel as a weight loss channel, but this channel is not a weight loss channel. A lot of people start their channels with a certain intention that changes, and I've been on YouTube for 6 years, so my intention for this channel has changed. Subject of this channel has changed. The subject, well, I wouldn't say that's changed wholeheartedly. The subject has always been me. My channel has always been about me. It's been about just my life, the ups and downs, the trials, the errors, the happiness, the sadness, you know, it's just been about me. And I have tried so hard to create that for my channel for years and years now, and so many people are held on to like weight loss channel. That'll never be this channel. This channel will always be about me, and something that I will always, like literally always, struggle with is my weight. So that'll always be on this channel. That's always going to be a topic of discussion, whether it be good or bad. I've been having to edit out coughs every single like minute, but that one was bad. Oh my god, I feel like my face is really red. But yeah, this channel is me. I feel like I'm rambling. I feel like I've said so much, but like have also like said nothing, honestly. You guys, look at my case. So many people are gonna be like, you can hold it like this instead of like those pop sockets. It's like this chain, and it's gorgeous. You guys, I'm honestly obsessed. I want to get my nails painted that color. I feel like that'd be really cute. And I have a little ouchie right here. Don't mind that, but I need to stop talking. Like I said, this whole video, I've said a lot, but I've also said nothing. I don't know. It's just like an update. I love you guys, and I just want to feel better. I really do. I just want to come back on here and just be like, what's up? I feel better. Hopefully that day is coming soon. My throat is hurting really bad. I need to get me some water. I need to put a cough drop in my throat. I hope you guys enjoyed this video for what it's worth, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
In the intro of my very first, in the intro of the first episode of this series, I wanted to convey a young woman who began her journey with honest intentions of genuinely wanting to lose weight. A soft-spoken, almost timid person, and show that as time grew by, this didn't reflect her initial intentions. In past videos, we've learned that if we didn't already know it from watching her act and the stories she's told and have been told to us by people who knew her at the time, that quiet, soft-spoken young woman wasn't the woman she portrayed to us. She was just quiet because she was filming in the house where her girlfriend's parents and family lived. She speaks here about January being the time when weight loss channels crawl out, emerge again, and make new resolutions to lose weight, just like she does. She tells them not to get discouraged and give up. There's one thing I can make a plea on. It is, please never, ever, ever take any advice Amberlynn Reid ever gives you, whether it's on cooking, whether it's on weight loss, whether it's on your health. your mental or physical, please never take it. The woman really does know nothing. And if you want to go back and watch a video, the last one I put out about Amberlynn Reid, the one where Amberlynn Reid gives us her take on politics. If there's one thing I want to see in 2020 from Amberlynn Reid as she's bedbound, which is something that is bound to happen in this year because this is the route it's going, I want to see another political take by Amberlynn Reid. Is she still pro Bernie Sanders? Is she still making up stories in her head because she actually physically saw them say it? I want to conclude this video now. I've spent a lot of time, probably too long. This won't be my last video on Amberlynn Reid. It's the last documentary style video I'm gonna make. But I do like to go back and poke fun of her. She's that kind of character who's kind of ripe for the picking, I think. She thinks very little and talks a lot. I think when you know nothing about a subject, it's best to listen to people who are a little bit more informed, and instead of talking over them, just listen, and maybe you can impart some of their wisdom upon you. But Amberlynn Reid really does think weight loss is a resolution. She thinks it's something you write down in one of her many, many journals, and then forget about after a short time, and you go back into your unhealthy ways. Amberlynn Reid really does act like she only has to lose a couple of pounds and she'll be fine. 600 pounds, Amber. I'm convinced she reached at some point 600 pounds. From Eric's vlogs at Christmas, we see she has not lost weight. She can tell us about angles and lighting all she wants, but she hasn't. And the truth is, at 29, she will be 30 this year. Time is against her, not only for her health, but to enjoy her life. I've said in this video I understand what it's like to be comfortable in a safe place and everything outside it seems terrifying. I know I'm not the only person who has been through this. Many people can identify this with. But when Amberlynn Reid started off this journey, she told us in this very first video, she wanted to lose weight. And she tells us she wants to inspire people. She goes on to tell us how she's going to be doing Wednesday weigh-ins because people want to see weigh-ins, but it's only something she's thinking about. She's not wedded to the idea, and she's got an obsession with weigh-in multiple times in a day, and she does it naked every single time. But when she does these Wednesday weigh-ins, if she does them, she won't be filming her whole body because she'll be naked. I'm sorry, this was information I did not need to know. I do not need to know that as that voice is calling out her number, I don't need to know that beyond the camera, she's in the bath. I'm sorry, this is just... No. No. Please, no. In conclusion, what have I deduced from these long-ass vlogs where I have had to cut out a lot of swearing because Amberlynn Reid just really infuriates me, and some got by and some I left in because they needed to be said. What have I deduced? As I've said, Amberlynn Reid won't lose weight. She never will. She really... And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's her journey. Maybe that's how her tale is supposed to be. I'm reminded of a part in Little Women, the book, where Beth is dying and she's on her deathbed and she's talking to her sisters, and she says, she recites everything her sisters are good at and what they always wanted to be, and she says she never really wanted to do anything. She never really wanted to do those things, and that maybe that was her fate, to die young. I always find that very sad. I read that book when I was about 14, 15. It was very sad then, it's still sad now. But maybe that is Amberlynn Reid. Maybe her fear of living has resigned her to being hopelessly and insanely uncomfortably sad in the body she exists in. And maybe Amberlynn Reid's story, maybe her purpose is, maybe Amberlynn Reid wasn't meant to come into YouTube to lose weight. Maybe that was just not for her. Maybe Amberlynn Reid's purpose was to show us all how not to live, how to not let the ghosts of our past dominate and dictate the way our lives should be, to not look back with anger and punish ourselves by purposely sabotaging anything good that could happen to us and destroy ourselves for what other people did. Maybe she's to be the cautionary tale of what can happen when egotism and arrogance gets in the way of good intentions. Maybe she's the one who shows us what happens if we keep saying, maybe tomorrow. It's pretty clear, especially after these few vlogs, people seem to be resigned to the fact that Amberlynn Reid isn't going to change. No one more so than the woman herself. Let's take her journey and know that you can start to change in an instance if you only want to. Waiting and waiting will only bring more trouble until you spiral down a hole so deep and dark it's hard, if not impossible, to climb out of. Amberlynn Reid is in that hole. Let's make sure we don't fall down there too. That's what Amberlynn Reid's purpose on YouTube is. To show us we can be better by not following her. She says she wants to inspire people. Well, I think she does. She certainly scared me. And that is why one of the reasons that I changed my life. I think I'm not the only one. It is extremely sad that the woman herself cannot want that for herself. But ultimately, in the end, no matter how many voices shout and scream and reason and give love, compassion, kindness, anger, hate, ultimately, there is only one person who can really help you, and that is you. As soon as Amberlynn Reid finds a desire to crawl out of that hole, to help herself, only then will she succeed.